Hello everyone, this is Jojo here and we're talking Wheel of Time again. Today the topic is going to be channeling shown in the trailer. Now, this is the first channeling we see in the trailer. Should it have been the first scene? I don't think so. I would have liked the first scene to be this guy, but anyway, this is channeling a first instance of it, and this is the one scene I see a lot of people complaining, and I gotta say, I somewhat agree with the complaints of this scene. Healing is not a simple art of weaving in the Wheel of Time. It's actually meant to be real complex, so this little bit of channeling here, it's not great. Realistically, this channeling should have been real intricate. They could have just had the weaves not just go into the wound, but go over her entire body. And that would have, to me, that would have been fine, great. They would have said, "Oh yeah, that looks enough for healing." But at the moment, it's just real simple. Yeah, you can see a lot of threads. It's just one main thread, one main cluster. Where this should be, I feel like it needs to be a little bit more complex based on what everything else we're seeing with channeling. Winter's Night. Here, we know Moraine is using an Ungreal to power up her channeling in this scene, and you can see these complex weaves, heaps of them, great, stunning. However, this scene brings up a complaint that some people are having, where I think they are sort of valid in this scene here, but I want to talk about it as a whole, and that is weaves really should be different colors. As weaves are made out of 5 different elements. You've got earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Realistically, these weaves you need to distinguish these weaves in some way. Easy way, colors. In a scene like this, different color weaves, it would look awesome. However, and this is a point I'm going to make, yes, it would look awesome for a scene in the open like this, but have a look down here. When there's a lot of weaves around Moraine, that will just look like a blob of colour. Imagine an elastic band ball that you've put different colour elastic bands all around it. That's what that's going to look like. Say, for instance, over here, that would just look like a mess of colour, and we wouldn't be able to see what's going on. So I do like the idea to have these sort of transparent threads, sort of like how I would imagine air or spirit to look. Those color weaves, and I think that's great. That they've made that decision just to keep it one color, and this is awesome. And then the other one, which is I think a real good example of weaves, is this one here. Simple air, stopping arrows. I'm assuming she's actually stopping the momentum. She's created a shield in front of a wall in front of each arrow. That's what it looks like to me. Instead of building a solid wall, because you've got sort of the blurred tips around the arrows. That's really all I've got to say about that. I think it's great that you can barely see the weaves here, because my understanding is these waters, well, first of all, these waters shouldn't be able to see these weaves, and the fact that it's so transparent that you can barely tell it's there, you can get that as a viewer, you can gain that understanding, or even possibly just not really pay attention to it and not see it yourself, which I think is awesome. Great choice here. Now, I'm going to come back to here for a second, and I want to sort of lean towards the channeling here. You can especially this bottom part around where Maureen's standing. You see how it's all real smooth, fluid leaves. Just as channeling Saidar, it's meant to be a calm sort of experience. This is low gain channeling. This is, I think it's really awesome attention to detail. If this was intentional, I have no idea if it was, but this sort of rough and gruffness to Sardine is awesome. I really hope this is done on purpose and they keep it like this, because it just encompasses that the entire difference between Sardine and Sardar. Sardine is described as being a torrent that threatens to overwhelm you and take control, where you have to grasp it and fight for your life whilst holding it. While Sardar, you're surrendering to it, you're letting it, and you're sort of guiding the flows. Whereas Sardine, you're really forcing the flows. Awesome. Love this scene. If they did this intentionally, perfect. If not, you've done it right here. Just continue it, please. Steppin, jumping. Oh, I don't know if this is steppin, so I'm gonna rephrase that. A water. We know he's a water. Based on Alana stopping arrows, he would be a water. Jumping at this person bound by the power. All I'm really showing here is what it looks like to be bound by power. Awesome. Nothing wrong with it. I think I did a fine job with this. Again, the magic tells us, yes, there is magic going on here as an audience, so we know that he's not just sitting there, he's actually being affected by the power. But you could also make the argument with, because it's not really in your face, it's really obscure, you can make the argument that he can't see it. Awesome. I think this is really, they've nailed it, honestly, in my opinion. And then this one here, this scene. Now, I kind of wanted to do the video, but go check this scene out. It's at the end of the trailer, but please watch the whole trailer. This is the fighting scene where Moraine and Lan are fighting in conjunction, which I assume is Winter's Night. And the hand motions is what I wanted to point out too. You can see Moraine actually guiding the flows with her hands, which is really imperative for as an Aes Sedai trait, because that's how they learn in the White Tower to guide the flows, is to use your hands, because it's easier to keep track of the flows that way for them. Really important detail. I have seen some complaints, but I don't think it's too much movement. I think it's the right amount, so I can't fault it. And especially Moraine, who had the spark as a child, you can expect someone like her to have even more excessive hand waving motions than most. So, real great drop here. Can't complain. And I think that is all that we can talk about the channeling in the Wheel of Time today. Try to keep it not too long. There is a couple more sort of scenes where that you can sort of analyze, but I think these are the real key things from the trailer that we've seen. And yeah, let's keep talking about the Wheel of Time, keep the hype going, and keep waiting till we get some more news or the full-length trailer. Enjoy, guys.